body is kind of the Flow Dojo is a place. Can I explain this? No, okay. So essentially, this is the representation of body as a self, but more specifically, I think in terms of health, I will beat the Hayflick limit, which essentially limits human bodies to live longer than 120. So that's kind of a challenge that you overcome. And once you do that, like, whew, because usually the most amount of success that you'll have is around like 50, 60. But what happens if you continue staying as healthy as you were in your like 40s? Wouldn't that persist, since you have like, the older you get, the more kind of power you have in terms of knowledge? Well, I'm going quite deep in there, but that's what health is all about. And in fitness, I think I want to be able to always swim while kind of living up until my 120s. Because if I cannot even swim anymore, I think it may be time to kind of rest. Unless by that time we have uploaded our brain to like a virtualized brain. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Because first we have healing, and I will put a lot of money in like building this cryo chamber, because this essentially allows you to kind of like press pause on time and be like, okay, I want to like see how Mars colony starts now, so let me freeze for 100 years and then be like, oh wow, we are pretty far already. So yeah, that's definitely on my vision for the future, and that's kind of how I think about my body. The decisions that I make, oh my god, it's getting warm. The decisions I made are essentially all decisions that lead me towards that future. So this is the direction I want to go, and well, I'm doing everything in my power to get there, but along the way, I'm gonna have fun. So that lets us move forward to mind, and let's not show too much yet, because here we have actually the virtualized brain that I was talking of before. Just is more or less uploading my consciousness that's included in this virtualized brain. But I think if you can pull that off, you have like an almost infinite amount of intelligence, because eventually either you will grow so big or you merge with something that will like grow big to be almost infinite. Because the power of the mind for all regards is infinite. We don't know what we are capable of actually, but that's also getting ahead of myself a little bit there, because we have the knowledge where I want to write a best-selling book, and I don't need like a lot of books. I just know that I definitely want to read one book that is supposed to be as good as possible. And I would actually like to have it update in real time, because other books claim that, but with the digital book, it is always upgraded. So that's kind of my playbook that I'm writing on. And I've been writing on that for almost 5 years now. What? Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be an amazing book. I have all the information pieces that I want, and now I just need to tell a story around that. Ooh, that's a nice idea. Notion idea. Test your book drafts within Twitter. So that's why I like kind of having these sessions, because they really inspire you to have new ideas as well. So that was a new idea from me, which will be sent to my database. But we'll kind of briefly touch that as well at some point, so it's coming. So that's what my vision for knowledge looks like. And then education is a big one, like a really big one. But to kind of put it in understandable grasp, like if you know Kurzgesagt, which kind of like make this video or this picture, there we go, then you kind of know in which direction it is going. And they literally have an ABC as well, which is hanging right there, but I'm not gonna like bother now. It is there though. Anyways, that's kind of like what Kurzgesagt Education does, then TED with like their speakers, and then also Mindvalley, and kind of these merged together in one with like the addition of gamification. And that's kind of what I'm trying to. So technically I would like this to be like 4 quadrants, but so far I want to be the 4th quadrant, because there isn't a 4th one in the education game. So I guess I could put like the summit schools there. The thing is, they're not really that internationally recognized, and you don't find a lot of good information on them. So I think I can like top that. But I need to learn from them as well. Whew. That's actually a good idea. Notion idea. Hey Siri, Notion idea. Go and work for the summer school summit from Prepared and work there to learn how and what they're doing. Whew. Okay. So yes, I kind of want to work with all these companies together. That's essentially my vision there. And like the global education system. That's why everything is connected to that. But wait, let me move this here. It's a little bit like I always have to reach out. So that was not the right. There we go. So Soul. Soul. Damn. Like what you thought Mind was big? Like this is gonna blow your mind, so watch out for that. In terms of creativity, I would like to set or kind of build and create this psychedelic resort, a safe space where you can go to explore your inner self. So kind of like Burning Man, but like chill. Like Burning Man is stressful. It's like that. Sometimes you just want to be like in nature and around and like have nice places, beautiful places that are already set up and that have been like. Burning Man is temporary. You always have to start from scratch, but like, isn't it nice to continue building on top of something? So that's what I want to create about creativity. And then we have spirituality, where I essentially want to become a yogi, because if it's just slightly true from what I've been reading from sources that I have not found anything to directly like disillude against that. Like no one said, okay, this is an incorrect fact, because they cannot say it like that. Anyways, if just a fraction of that, what I've read about yogis is true, then we have a lot to do collectively, and I want to contribute to that. And I think that's what yogis mostly do. They contribute to this Namaste. Namaste. I don't know how to else describe it, but it's just a very nice thing to achieve and accomplish. But that's spirituality for you, and my vision for that. And the last sub-era of Soul is wisdom. And there I want to ascend to this god emergence. So if you think about many small things creating a big thing, like for example, like all these small cells in my body create me, and then kind of branch out from there, to kind of be included in everything, because I'm like then part of my nation, then of the world, of humanity, and this can grow in that kind of emergent kind of way, where there is one consciousness that is in control of everything, and I kind of at some point want to be in the decision making on that level. Decision making is the wrong word. I kind of want to associate with that as like one being and doing everything in your power to actively contribute towards that being and positively contribute. And that's wisdom for you. Next up, we have, I keep doing the wrong, press the wrong button, but here in the self category, we have the self. And in terms of identity, I have the vision of a value hierarchy. So there are different values that I think, or I personally decide to put one above the other and say, okay, if I had to decide between the creativity as a value over love, it's like I'd rather feel love than creative. So I'm saying, okay, I rank this above the other. And kind of following these values allows me to just create a person that I want to become. It's the direction that you set for yourself on the values, and like sticking to these values is essentially your identity sheet. So that's kind of where that goes. I'm thinking about how to turn this in an insight, because this is a new idea for me. Or kind of like this. Hey Siri, Notion idea. The values that you have are your character sheet for creating the character that you want to play in the game of life. So, that's identity for you. And next up, we have balance, which I think I want to have this self-adjusting schedule. And we are actually not that far from that. I kind of thought this would take longer, but essentially my schedule, I think to make it really good, I need an actual almost general AI level type of assistance. So it may take some time. But what I'm currently doing is I track like every minute of my day and kind of decide how I spent this. Like, I'm obviously not gonna write like, oh, 3 minutes I brushed my teeth. I'm not tracking anything that is less than half an hour. But everything I basically track, yes. And I would like an AI to kind of not only analyze the data, but also kind of make corrections, because essentially the balance allows you to build this identity. So, wait, I need a whiteboard. Okay, I definitely, hey Siri, Notion idea. I definitely need a whiteboard. This would be so much easier if I just had something that I can draw on. Okay. So what I've been saying is the balance is the execution of the identity. So with that, I can create the character, and then with balance the character. It's like, okay, what if these are the values that I want to follow, how do I kind of balance my life and kind of get the skills that I need to get in order to fit these values? And so one is the direction, and then actually the moving towards something, the process of moving, and that to take care of the AI. And I feel like I way overcomplicated this. This can be done much better. Okay. Then in gamification, I have the vision of having this augmented reality user interface. So think Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Horizon Zero Dawn with the focus, like these kind of level interface. Maybe with also the Pip-Boy from Fallout, where you have all these stats about yourself and like a way to orient yourself, and like this basic digital device, which currently is our phones, but have it like also alter your reality or augment that, and being able to see all these stats about yourself, and like essentially allow yourself to see the points that we've been talking before in balance. So gamification is kind of giving that whole system eyes that you can look in, because these eyes are your eyes, the eyes of the player, of the user, and building that is my vision for gamification. I already have it on 2D, but for AR, I need developers that can help me with that, essentially. Okay. And then we have... I keep doing that. I cannot... oh, okay. I need to switch face. Oh. Yeah, switch side. So... oh yeah, that works. Okay. Do we move to purpose then after love? That's a good question. But let me do love first. Because in love, I want to understand emotions completely. And this is probably the most arbitrary one, because like, how do you understand emotions, and how is that kind of like a vision? But to kind of how you can read brainwaves, to get to the level where I could read these emotions and kind of not only read them, but understand how they work and being able to influence them and create them. So that's why I have dance and music as the ultimate creation of music, to put these together. And I think that's how I think about the future of emotions and working towards that as well. In terms of relationship, there is a concept called the twin flames. And I find this a very romantic concept, in a way that it's unique, so very difficult to kind of pull off, but also a finding of two destined people who were bound to be together, and are actually the same soul, but have been split, and now they live in this same soul lives in two bodies. And when they find each other, they literally complete each other, even though they have been complete before as well. But something just clicks and you're like, oh, this is what I've been missing. And that's what I'm like striving for, like the perfect yin yang. Because I think I have a very strong feminine side as well, so I would need like someone as expertly set in there. And that kind of brings us to sexuality as well, because I would like to deeply explore Kundalini, and like the awakening is just the beginning, and I think you can take this to like other dimensions and just completely understanding how the energy can move mountains and universes, and that's like what we all are, and this is the control and the play of that. So that's my idea about my vision for love. And now we'll be checking out reality, because we count from 1 to 10. There we go. In reality, we have, as a thing that I want to kind of experience and go towards, is space travel. But there is a thing about space travel that not a lot of people realize, but it's kind of like incredibly boring if you're just with like 5 people on. Of course it depends on the 5 people, but it's always nice to have like more than 5 people around at all times. So it could get incredibly lonely or boring in like space travel, and there isn't that much to do there. It's not like an exciting thing. But if you combine that with VR, still connect the people to that are still living on the Earth. So essentially you continue living with everyone, but just virtually. And I think this would make space travel much more attractive. So with VR, we get people into space, because we're gonna be space travelers. Like, for real. That's kind of what Moana is about, in case you haven't figured that out. But I always like beautiful metaphor of that. And at the same time, it's a metaphor for something completely different, which, like this movie, oh my god. But I'm getting ahead of myself, because this would be more entertainment direction. First, we still gotta talk about technology. And I am thinking about like really merging with AI, because at the moment you already see so many incredible inventions and like possibilities and functions that are already possible with today's AI, with ChatGPT 3. No, it's just ChatGPT. Like that alone, and I think this is just the beginning. So, and like you also include Dolly with that, and like if we kind of need to merge with that, and that's would be like our complete logical memory side, because if we really become like older than 120, then like memory is going to be an issue. But if we can outsource parts of our memory to AI, then we'd be kind of saved. And I think this is just like a thing that I see in technology capable of. And then lastly, entertainment for reality, where I want to create my own fictional VR game that is essentially everything that I've been working on, like the addition of elements and like all kind of being able to play all fictional books and movies. It's more like books. To be honest, it's more like books, like including different superpowers and like really creating the most ideal person, where you can like pick and choose from all abilities from all your favorite games, and kind of like have them added slowly on top of that. So that's what I'm aiming to do with entertainment. So lastly, no, not even close to lastly, because we still have 4 more to go. How are we on time? Okay, we're decent on time, because with family we have. I don't know why I'm so keen on that, but I really want to have 3 children. Like, and I think on top of that, like also adopt a ton of children. I think I want to have a lot of children, because that's kind of who I'm doing everything for. Like my children and like the next generation. And I think we have such a good future ahead that I'm just like, okay, let's enable as many people as possible to that future. And that's kind of the vision there with like relatives. Obviously connected to my family always as well. But I think these 3 children are really the center of everything. And from there, we have home, where I want the ultimate smart home that is capable of like everything. Like I'm walking down the hallway and the lights turn on in front of me, like all like do 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 do, and as well as kind of having always the ideal temperature in every room and being able to completely see where people are if they want to be seen. So you'd also have this map, Marauders map within your own house where you see people and you kind of like then can zoom in there because you can like record everything as well. So I want to like essentially create this whole entity of a house, and that's why we need to make it smart. Then the last sub area of family, and let me quickly get some drink. We have a self-sustaining garden. Let me tell you what that what I kind of mean with that. No, that was the wrong direction. Okay. So, with... Oh, you didn't even see family. I'm sorry about that. There we go. So that's what I meant with 3 children, the smart house, and the self-sustaining garden that I wanted to just get started with explaining. Because I think there is something about nature that we cannot ignore. It basically has given us the possibility, and still gives us the possibility to live. And I think there is... Yeah, I think there's a connection with like all of Earth and the nature. Like the nature is our connection. I think this is what all bounds us together, because we are all from the same planet. We are all Earthians. And that's why I kind of want to contribute towards nature by having my own garden that sustains itself even beyond my pure mortal shell. So that we have with family. And here we kind of go deeper into friends. And for the behavior, and friends is put here broadly, so you could also see it as interactions. No, I like friends. It's friends. Like we're all kind of friends, or hopefully at least friendly. And one thing to kind of accomplish that is the Selden plan, where we essentially okay, how do I describe this? Because it is part of a story, so I think I need to go in the story a little bit, because the Selden plan is the thing that Hari Seldon invented, and he is the scientist that predicted that humanity in the future will crumble again and kind of retreat back to its primitive roots. But instead of the humanity of today, he talks about the humanity in 3,000 years. And from there, we kind of place one part of humanity, which are basically space travelers, because that's what we are, and places them at the whole end of the galaxy, of the observable universe, essentially. And from there on, he said, okay, let's rebuild this humanity, this power of humanity together again, because we don't want to go through like 10,000 years of slow evolution again after we do something terrible to reduce our chances of surviving longer and kind of developing and growing. And that's why I'm thinking this is something that I want to contribute towards. It's like, okay, what could I do now that the future of in 3,000 years could be helped with, and kind of set the foundation for that. And to kind of accomplish that, I need to be able to network a lot. And that's why I have the vision of being a public speaker. And there, I think you have so much influential power of connecting yourself with the people that make the decisions, essentially. And as soon as you're capable of changing the decisions and continue to grow, then you direct humanity in that way by kind of seeing, okay, and deciding where we're going. Okay, where do we put a lot of research money? Oh, I'm voting for that future. That's kind of what we are with that. And for that, I know that I need to like really go in public speaking, because otherwise I will not reach as many people as I usually would. So from there on, we can check the community, because yes, networking is nice, but this is kind of, you network with people that you don't know. And that's, I was like, okay, how does this person fit in my network? But after that, having this network is a community, and that's what I want, that the community can sustain itself even beyond me. So the spirit lives on in that way, and that's what I'm trying to do with a community, to gather the people that vote for my future, essentially. And that's the future that I'm presenting here. So that's why I want to really build this from the bottom up and kind of leverage that across, because that's the power of the new age. Communities, not nations anymore, because nations are too slow to move, and they are more just like the over instance, but life happens here, and that's what the community is for. So we have next up the career, and here we go a little bit on how this all pieces together and the numbers behind the system. So as an organization, I want Holy Game to be internationally recognized. That's what I meant with on the same stage as Kurzgesagt and TAT and Mindvalley, and like sharing a stage and being able to say, okay, us as a connection will provide the education for the future, and it will continue to do so. And that's what I think is the level of organization that I will be able to build and create with Holy Game. And obviously with a great team with me working on that, like a crew that is kind of all sworn together, and obviously, hopefully, also persist longer than just me. So, because eventually I want to hand off this company and kind of be like Bill Gates and say, okay, this works now in the background. I don't need to interfere with that. Also, they need to go in new directions, and I have like a very old thinking. But let me use that old thinking and that knowledge that I've accumulated to really help people. So for that, I kind of need this fat fire that I can completely, it's like essentially I'm burning my cash, and I want it to be a fat fire, but I'm burning it to be used, because every time you burn cash, it's somewhat invested in something. So you can decide where you burn your cash, and I prefer to do this in a philanthropist? Yeah, I need to learn that word. That's not as nice when you don't say it like, oh, okay. Well, I still have a way to go, so I'll be there. I'll be there. And with that, I think I also want the standard operating procedures to be completely automated, because there's so much time wasted just doing things that are repetitive. And that's kind of what I hope AI will accomplish. And as we see the direction that ChatGPT is or will be included in Notion, like it is already in the beta, so we'll definitely be getting that. And from there on, woo, whew. But that's why I want this fully automated system. And I need a sticker right here. Hey Siri, Notion idea. Get Holy Game stickers. Okay, so that's what I have with the career. And now to the last one. And whew, that is oh no. Because this is kind of all where this is leading towards, right? Okay. So, as my purpose, the thing that I think I was almost born to do as my life's purpose, this is why I was born. This is why I literally exist. And that is equality of opportunity. I think I need to do everything in my power to ensure that, because as soon as we have that, we can work together as humanity. Then we are one people and working towards a shared common goal. So reaching that will just make us a different species. And this is one of the ways that I think we would still be relevant compared to artificial intelligence, because there needs to be a reason why we should continue staying around. If we don't have a purpose anymore in life, then AI will eventually be like, okay, so what? We're just humans. So equality of opportunity, that everyone has the ability to reach whatever position. Like, obviously it's like not gonna be easy, and some will have an advantage, but you have this bare minimum. Like, okay, with that you should be able to build something. And that's what I'm trying, that's what's motivating me. And for the contribution, I want to just continue, like, work on everything, continue making it better and building systems that make themselves better. And with that, I want to give back to everyone through my learnings, my content, my life's work, and distribute that as well. So lastly, we have leadership. And I think in order to be seen as a leader, like, okay, who do you look up to? And I think this should be completely transparent. And in a way, the people that have trained me, my mentors, are essentially the ones that I chose and then continuously through persistence learned from. And this collection of knowledge is kind of what I think as leader should represent. And that's what I'm trying to show and express. So that was the vision ball of motivation, of purpose. Okay, that was a good session. Damn. Okay, and we have how much time left? Wait, let me. Oh yeah, that was 40 minutes to go through everything. I think this can be a video. I think. Yeah. This should be a video. So let's... Oh, wait. Let's... Are these... Ah, okay. I know why I did this. Okay. So, let's just take this all. Does that work? Ooh, there we go. So, let's use these 20 minutes to think about things that I could like improve upon. And this is one of my favorite activities. Could I like go deeper into any of these? Could I be more specific? Could I be clearer? And the more clear it is, I think in terms of pictures, I could like have pictures created. I think like really having a designer work on that and turn it into a visual thing. Yes. Yes, I'd like that. Because these are just my personal ones. This is important to know. Because these are just not my personal ones. So this is for my personal use. And I don't intend to sell that to anyone. I want to inspire others and educate what this is all about. On why we can all connect that and kind of learn from. And I think the connection here is the thing that makes it unique. So in a way, I'm making a commentary about that. And that's why I think it would be better if it was just my own pictures that I could really talk about. So for example, this self, this is the first picture for Holy Game. Okay. The Rise of the Phoenix. I like that. With level 10, like, I've been an egg before. And the egg rises to be the phoenix. Oh my god. What? Okay, that was cool. So now I can like save these things, and with those savings I get to go and kind of recollect my insights. But if I really want something, I can still do it with the watch, even though this is almost better at that. And I think I said this before, but I kind of forgot. So I just need to say it once and then like save it. Ooh, I forgot about that. I think there are like some hidden gems in there. Should we take a look at them? No, that's a different topic. I'll do that tomorrow together with these clips. Yes, I was just batching that. Okay. You see how I convince myself? Okay, so I think I can make my own pictures for each of these. So with that, I can make my own pictures. I really need access to DALL-E, because with that I can create my pictures. Oh, this is the next creativity thing. I don't trust you like going through these. Oh, this is easier since it's directly in my database. Hey Siri, Notion idea. Create the art for the 10 areas and your vision wall, and have this as a quest for creativity, and also use DALL-E to do that. Okay, that was a good one. So they would also need to be in a similar design to like the knowledge, balance, and leadership. also build a team. That's kind of what what Ivan is doing. Damn. Okay, respect to that, man. I just understood your organization at like a very different level, I think. So I think Discord I need to make different. I need a horizontal and a vertical picture. Hey Siri, Notion idea. Come on. Hey Siri, Notion idea. Go and create a specific picture for Discord example, and you all need a picture that's horizontal and vertical, because in a way you could sell it as a product, but also you can make it a part of your vision wall. Cool. So that's kind of what I do just always afterwards. It's like, okay, what are the things that I could be doing as well? And I do something similar with the holistic guides, but this is a different video. Where I explain the story of... Okay, I have 10 minutes. How about I explain the story for each of the top areas? So for body, we have the Flow Dojo, and there we can do all sorts of activities, and they are completely dragged. And this is from the Flow Genome project, which, mad respect to them. Like, oof, kind of enjoying, and also this is my vision that I will be working with them. Then for the mind, it is this virtual brain that I was talking of that is connected like to all that I have ever created. So this education system, my book, my personality, all within this virtualized brain of mine. And that's the mind. For soul, I think the yin and yang, as well as the connection to all 4 areas, allows us to really combine everything together. And also one thing is made out of many other things and like ultimately becoming one thing again. So that's my representation for soul. And with self, I think this rise of the phoenix and the level 10 with my level system. And if you look behind there, you may see an icon from the Grey Jedi, which oh wait, when you go so fast, I have way more time, by the way. I don't need to rush this. So this is the icon that I created not myself, but with the help of a designer with. And I was aiming a little bit like the Kurzgesagt style, but like also a trophy kind of thing, and like connected with my identity being the Phoenix and the balance between the dark and the light from the Force, because the Grey Jedi say, okay, we need to include everything there. So kind of including all areas of life, not just the... Like, if you think about the Jedi are not better than the Sith because they completely abstain from emotions. And you shouldn't just follow the evil emotions. You should, like, incorporate all emotions. So that's what I'm also seeing with the Jedi symbol there. And then the level bar, the level of 10, and reaching that achievement is the thing that I want and I'm working towards too, and that's why it's kind of like in there. I want to continue leveling up and kind of like gamify this whole system. In love, this is essentially the essence of the twin flames, but also having like hot bodies that are athletic and capable, and being able to do different things. Like also sometimes you're lacking the flexibility, so being able to have that to allow yourself to really explore life from all the sides, and kind of both being this fire that burns together, that is also the twin flames being one soul that is completely immersed in itself, as well as understanding each other's emotions and being able to guide them in the right direction, because this is ultimately where our energy goes. Ooh. That was unfortunate. I pressed the wrong button. I wanted to save that, but I guess I'll save this so I know where we are. And that is my vision for love, where everything. So now we go back to reality, and here it is actually the symbol from What If, the Marvel series, where they explore, okay, but what if this was different? And this is this question of what if, as well as the space around, this complete infinite amount of curiosity, I think is what makes this reality worth living in. It's like, oh, but what if this is different? Or what happens if I do that? Like this sense of exploration. And that's why I also kind of include the space travel, as well as like the exploration of oneself through stories, because you only know yourself in contrast. It's like, oh, okay, I can identify with that character, so I must be kind of like that character. And kind of this identifying is what I think completely puts everything together, like also with the entertainment of this is literally a Marvel show. For family, I'm glad that I didn't talk about it before, because I almost said it during nature, but here in family we have Gaia, which is the earth as one entity. And it's, I wouldn't say we should stop at Gaia, because like I'm also aiming towards Galaxia, which is this incredible being of everything being one. And this is kind of the more family version for what I mean with the god emergence in Soul. So these are just two sides from the same coin, and that's what I'm intending with family. And I was like, I should have done that, because here we have friends, and friends allow you to no, not friends. Friends is the, so in Friends we have Sense8, and if you don't know Sense8, go and watch Sense8, because it's the best freaking show. There you are connected with 8 people that you know more or less everything about them from their whole day, and you also share the skills of the others. So if one can do the thing, everyone can do that, and through that you kind of become this cluster of people working together, and that's all friends celebrating birthday together, which I think is like something inherently positive, striving towards too. So with that career, I think Tesla is one of these companies that inspires me, and I want to model many things after. But also this lifestyle of being able to say, okay, I want to be completely sustainable, but I will also enjoy the ride and enjoy the journey. And also how Tesla managed to like make something that no one believed thought was possible. And that's what I'm trying to do with education and Holy Game. So lastly, we have purpose. And this is essentially the future that I want to live in and see in. And this doesn't have to be Earth. This could also be Mars. And being able to be connected, but also in touch with nature and working towards this God emergence while being in balance and enjoying yourself, and everyone being treated in a way that they can achieve this level of like being, and no one should be excluded from that, because we are all living together. We're all literally in the same like planet, and we'll be soon thinking at a planet. We are already thinking at a planet scale. Like everyone was thinking, it's like, okay, how do I deal with this COVID? So we're all working on the same problem. Let's share notes. And that's what I'm proposing with purpose. And this was also the workshop to building your vision wall. And in a way, this is how I did it. Obviously, you don't have to do this, but I think this should give you a rough idea on how you could go on about this. And if you're really interested, do let me know, because then I can see if I can give you the template to do this yourself, to kind of walk you through that. So do let me know if you're interested in that, and I'd be happy to help. And otherwise, for next Thursday, we have a gaming stream where I'll be playing Super Smash Ultimate, a game that I've been loving for a long time. So I would not want to miss this on my all-time favorite games. And then we have on next Tuesday, what do we actually have there? So we have had, today is the workshop, we've had the book club, we have had the area. I think there's an area, and I think we're gonna go deep into friends. So that is gonna be an exciting one. And I kind of like have everything in system, so I just need to remember the system. But otherwise, I hope you learned something. I thought you found this inspiring, and maybe you will do your own vision board, because having this clarity on what you want to do helps you with everything in life. So that's why we start with why. And yes, have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next level. Take care.